I'm supposed to watch the live race.
It's back and forth.
Just wondering, could you send me a link to
Live here on ARCS Racing Network. Tonight we are at Daytona for the FRG Designs Thursday Night Thunder Round 1. In the booth tonight, our title sponsor, owner of FRG, Fisher. Fisher, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good, SK. I'm excited for tonight's race. Should be a fun one. Daytona is always an exciting event, so I'm excited to see what happens here tonight.
Absolutely. So am I. Leading the charge right now, Richie C. USA in that 24. Richie is probably one of the best restrictor plate racers we have in the field tonight, winning one restrictor place already, and his brother in the 48 who finished 1-2 the last time we were at Daytona. So those two are always in a fun charge. Ooh, looks like they're already starting to jumble them up, Fisher, in the back, getting a little impatient, and we're only on lap 1.
Yeah, SK. And something I'm noticing early on, and I've seen this on a lot of Daytona races, some guys move to the top, some guys stay on the bottom, but we're seeing that move work out for Jack at FND there on the in that 14 car. He was able to work that top and move down to the bottom, but the top lane's starting to fizzle out now as coming back to a line. So a good move by the 14 to get out into that top spot, but he kind of left everyone out to dry on that top side.
Right now, these guys are fighting for points. Fisher recovered this earlier in the meeting, but for the fans at home, if you lead at least one lap in the race, that is 5 bonus points. So that is very, very important to some of these drivers for a championship chase. So this will be exciting to see, but as the cars look to have gone into single file for just a moment, besides a few little tandem packs up top, see how this night goes, buddy.
Oh, I think we got a wreck in the back. There goes. Oh, that's a lot of cars spinning. SK. I see that 88, the 4, multiple cars around. I'll have to see what that
Yeah, looks like
triggers if
the
that causes a yellow.
51 as well of Twisted Navy. That should bring out the caution at the line. Let's throw the yellow flags or the yellow lights up. We are at caution, our first one of the night. Yeah, I definitely saw it too, buddy. Looks like the 51 of Briley getting involved. I believe the number 8 of Bossy Geo. A Poor Boy 52 was involved. The number 3 of Suicideways was also involved. The number 4 of Deplorable Me. Wow, already so far, only just a few laps in, and we're already wrecking. This could make for either some good racing, or this is going to be a long night for us, Fisher.
Yeah, SK. I saw. It was a very interesting wreck though. So I think I saw that rowdy energy car back there get up towards the wall, but and then just kind of collected some other guys with him, unfortunately. But so I mean, you got to wonder if after that wreck, maybe they'll calm down a little bit, see that they wrecked, maybe kind of regroup. But I mean, who knows? It's Daytona, so we'll see some guys go a little bit crazy here. But
Definitely going to see a lot of guys get crazy. I mentioned the 5-point bonus for a lap being led, but tonight is also kind of special for all the drivers here in TNT. It is double points. So a win here could set you very well up for a championship run, and a bad finish could really falter your chances. So drivers are definitely going to be going super hard here. Right now we had 2 or 3 cars decide to stay out. COT Tommy, Richie C USA, and I'm not sure who that third car was, but have a couple cars deciding to stay out, and Tommy's looking to lead a lap and get those 5 bonus points, Fisher. Let's go ahead and try and get our good buddy Fisher another invite here. Green flag flies yet again here at Daytona. COT Tommy out front leading the charge. Trying to get a good line on who is in second place at the moment. Looks like that is the number 11 of Term V. Right now fighting for second, lurking Tom in the number 19 coming in to give his Toyota buddy a little bit of help. It looks like the number 19 goes up to the top side, trying to get a run on the number 2. Get a little bit of help back from the back. Let's get our good buddy Fisher one more invite real quick. Get him back into the game. Right now, COT Tommy still continues to lead this race as these cars are looking beautiful side by side into those high banks of Daytona. What an amazing race we've got going on. Having a little bit of technical difficulties with my co-analyst, Fisher. Unfortunately, we're having just a tad bit of problems, but he'll be back in as soon as possible. But right now, we are rocking and rolling here. Not sure why I don't have sound on my... We're going to try and get that figured out right now. Looks like the yellow flag, I think, is back out again. Sorry, folks at home. I am trying to get this audio figured out. Then we will be going to a quick side-by-side commercial. All right. Still haven't got the audio figured out, guys. There we go, figured it out, but now everything's upside down. Hold on just 1 second, folks. We will get this squared away. Gave my Streamlabs to a buddy of mine for them to try out, and haven't quite got it figured out since, but we are back with audio. Okay, we have audio yet again. Here, we are green flag, the number 4 of Deplorable Me, out front, rocking and rolling. COT Tommy following right behind. Just a mess of technical difficulties here at Race 1. Hopefully we'll get these all figured out and back going again. Let's get our invite back out to our good buddy Fish, who's also dealing with some technical difficulties, but we will be rocking and rolling. So Fish, whenever you're in, let me know. Go back to talking, but right now we got good racing going on side by side. Looks like COT Tommy and his good friend ARCS RTP12, or otherwise known as Rylan Pinnell, right behind him, working Tom up in the third car in that top slot. Right now, looks like the top line is starting to prevail. DP and Briley trying to do everything they can to hold on underneath, but it looks like it is falling fast.
Yes, okay. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm back in.
Awesome. Glad to have you back,
Okay.
buddy.
Yeah, sorry to all the viewers at home. Hopefully we don't have more any internet issues on either of our sides. But fun opening laps here at Daytona. And SK, I'm seeing some guys jump up there. I was watching the stream on my phone while I was loading back in. I saw some guys test the top, but I mean, again, it's kind of fizzling out up there. I don't know if all these guys are fully committed to go up there right now. The 19 leading that top side up there, though.
Yeah, I think right now everybody's just trying to get positions. I think they're trying to fight for those 5 points for leading a lap, and the top line seemed to be prevailing for a second, and then it just kind of just fizzled out as guys started to get greedy instead of working as a team. Fisher, to run these restrictor plate tracks, you've got to have that teamwork with the cars behind you, but it looks like it's starting to fizzle out really quick and in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's kind of a lot deplorable to me to get pretty much out there, not by himself. He has the 51, 2, 12 all right behind him, but he's kind of got a little bit of a cushion. No line up there up on the top to worry about for that 4 car. But I mean, you got to imagine at some point they're going to get a run. We saw them side by side, so that it's possible for them to get up there. But it's just you got to have everyone on that top side committed, and we're not seeing that. But I am seeing some guys peek up there every now and then. There goes the I believe that's the 41. But it's hard to see commitment going up to that top side early on here.
Yeah, as you can see, the guys that started up top are now way back. Working Tom Gaming in 19 Toyota just be one of them, but that bottom line seems to be failing. But we still got a lot of racing to go. 84 laps, 83 to go at the line. Right now, we're hitting about field windows showing from pit reports of anywhere between 17 to 19 laps left on fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects green flag pit stops if we see a couple cars decide to stay out and try to get a good draft tandem going and see if any strategy plays out. But restrictor plates, it's not sure what just happened, but I think I just got booted out of the lobby this time.
Yeah, I did too, SK. So this is a little bit confusing.
Rut-row, this could be a problem. Let me pop up and we will be right back, guys. All right, fans, bear with us for just a little bit. We had a bit of a server issue, so we're going to call it a rain delay. They are getting the lobby set back up. We're going to be racing at night. We've still got 80 laps to go, so still a lot of racing action. Fisher, unfortunately, you haven't, this is your first race here with ARC, so I apologize. This is this kind of one of those things that just happens. The servers, we are at the mercy of them. So, but I apologize, and I'm happy that you're here and also being the presenting sponsor for Thursday Night Thunder. So, while we got a little bit of downtime, let's talk about FRG Designs.
Yeah, SK. I didn't really have an ad prepared for myself, but but obviously, FRG Designs is a great design company. Recommend following, obviously. So that's at Designs FRG on Twitter. Um, I guess since we already know that I'm the title sponsor, I'll go ahead and refer to myself as me. So I do obviously design. So if you're looking for iRacing paint schemes, I know some people race on NR 2003. That's still popular. Some Heat 5 modded stuff if you race on PC. Schemes range from around 20, 25 stuff if you're looking for that. Maybe a logo that's around 15, 10, maybe a little bit higher, somewhere around there. Any design stuff that you want, FRG Design is a great place to find it. Once again, at Designs FRG on Twitter. But yeah, SK, it's a fun opportunity to sponsor Thursday Night Thunder. But yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season, especially getting that logo up there on the top left of your screen. That'll be fun to see. But yeah, I'm really excited for the racing as well. That's an important aspect of that's why we're having this partnership, because we want to see some exciting racing, and hopefully we'll see that tonight at Daytona once we get restarted here.
Absolutely exciting racing indeed. For those who know, Thursday Night Thunder is the top tier along with A Squared here at ARCS. If you're interested in joining ARCS, visit racearcs.com. Find out everything we've got going on the Xbox side and the iRacing side. Fill out the application. We will get you racing as soon as tomorrow. Racing never stops. Heck, we never stop. We're racing almost 7 days a week here. We've got something for everybody from iRacing all the way from in the Xbox side. We do specialty races, non-stop action, Fisher. So I'm glad to see you've entered the ARCS family. We are definitely a fun group. We never stop. I know a lot of times my wife is ready to kill me because we never stop. So this is definitely going to be exciting. Hopefully we will get some information. We will be right back. I'm going to go up and talk to the guys in the booth and see what we've got going on, and we will give you updates so that way we can get back racing and we can call this thing a night. But Daytona, we're switching to nighttime. My favorite race to call was Daytona night.
Okay. I'm loading in now, so.
Loading in as well. Fans, we are back. SK and Fisher here. Hopefully, we will get this going. Sorry for the delay. We're calling it a rain delay. We are now switching to nighttime racing. We had a bit of server issues. So we will be doing 80 laps remaining here at Daytona when we get started back. Run order is going to be staying the same as it was when everybody decided to lag out. So hopefully we will get going here shortly as we are racing. Yet again, Jacket FND up front. Fisher, did you get in okay, buddy?
Yeah, I just loaded in as they're wrecking in the back there. But so looks like early on, I guess we'll call this a second stint, SK. In the night with the lights on here, so this should be fun. But we're seeing these guys again test the top, but now the field's kind of spread out here. We're seeing some guys trail off behind. I guess just due to maybe some wrecking early on. But I'm interested to see how these guys get back in line here, though. The field's kind of spread out now to start off this, I guess, second half, maybe. We didn't even get halfway, but yeah, interesting to see.
Which was weird because of, as the fans saw, they saw the number 24 of Richie C USA start to arc that high side, but got way, way high, and it slowed everybody that decided to go with him way down. Now they are single filed, and along with a poor little 4-car straggler pack way in the back, that's going to be tough to make back up. Here at Daytona, you're either with the pack or you're left behind, and that's gonna smell trouble for those cars back there if this race stays green.
Yeah, SK, and some I'm noticing here, we're seeing two Toyotas pull up to the top. That's the 96 and the 19 cars. I don't think they're going to get any ground, though. Yeah, they'll drop back, but still the 14 of Jacket FND out in front. But, I mean, you can't be too complacent out in the front there and just calm and collected. You got to worry about if anyone's going to move to the top like we've seen here. About 4 cars on that top side. But, I mean, he's doing a good job out in that lead position, but got to be a little bit worried about those guys up there on that top side.
Yeah, if I know restrictor plate tracks, every time I've ever gotten to the lead or anywhere close to it, my eye is glued to the rear view mirror watching what everybody else is doing. Looked like that high side didn't quite prevail. Looked like I had a couple cars trying to hold on to it, not really sticking to the banking like they should. A lot of swerving, but the number 14 of Jacket FND still rocking and rolling. I believe that is the number 8 of Boss E Geo on Sundays. I'm so hard to keep track of some of these guys' card numbers. On Sundays, Boss E Geo runs the number 22, so that's confusing for me as woo, he goes way up to the high side. Looks like, I don't know, sure if he got a bit of a bumper in the turn or what, Fisher, but that was almost ugly.
Yes, okay, luckily everyone was able to move. Well, they didn't really move. They got by him on the bottom side. And he'll fall to the tail end of this little group here. I don't think he'll fall back to the 4-car pack back there, so he should be able to stay in the draft, and he still will remain in this lead pack, hopefully for his sake. But that does shuffle him out. That puts Richie C USA in that second spot. But they are going a little bit racing up there, so maybe there's a hope for that 8 back there. But almost another wreck here at Daytona.
Definitely not sure if somebody accidentally gave him a bit of a bumper in the turns. You can bump draft like no tomorrow on the straightaways, but the second you hit that banking, you got to give them just a little bit of cushion. Otherwise, you're sending them to the moon. And poor Bossy Geo, the Bohemian, almost went flying back to the Bahamas. Right now, Jacket FND still rocking and rolling. Richie C USA tucked right behind his bumper. Briley in third place. Looks like the number 96 of Blixen in fourth. Lurkin Tom in fifth. Fans at home, normally the 96 is ran by Marsh Morrow, our season 2 champion. Right now, he's got a sub in it of Glixen. Glixen you've seen on Tuesdays in our truck series go out. Win races, finish second place in points, so he picked a good sub for him to get the points for him missing this race. So good job, Blixen. I know he's a little nervous being in his first Tier 1 race ever, but he is shining like the sun here, hanging with these Tier 1 drivers. But right now, Fish, Jacket's sitting pretty up there, but ooh, looks like Richie C USA almost got a run on him, but didn't quite make it work.
Yeah, SK. And I mean, we saw some guys test the top, and I thought they were going to be able to move all the way up to the front of this line here, but they weren't able to do anything. And that's something we got to keep an eye out for, those guys testing the top, like we said. But there they go again, the 1951 moving up the top side. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway. Still, though, Jacket F&D barely out in front, but they've got about 4 cars against 2 on the bottom side. So if they can keep it clean, they might be able to power around on the top if they keep organized. But we'll have to see down the line. I think the 14 will still maintain the momentum to the line, and yes, he will. But these guys, they're fighting hard on that top side, SK.
Got 3 Toyotas, 3 teammates, all up there on top, nose to tail. If they can keep that line held, we could probably see a run. That top side looks to be prevailing. Lurkin's going to get a nose on it, but we won't know till we hit the front stretch, Fish. It could be very interesting coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, and how about that? The 19 of Lurkin Tom goes to the top spot now, and he brought the 51 with him, but not the 96. The 41 will help the 96 up on the top side, though. So now it's a new leader coming back to the line. It's going to be Lurkin Tom out in front in that Bass Pro Shops Camry. So the first time he'll take that top spot here today at Daytona, and it was a brilliant move to get him there. 3 cars against around 2 or so. So that top side, this is the first time we've seen it prevail, SK, mostly throughout the night tonight.
Definitely, indeed. Very exciting to see that top side finally start to work. I was going to get, just like you, we're getting a little bit of worried. You know, the packs have kind of shuffled up. We've got 4 cars in another pack, 2 cars in another pack. So a lot of the field is not in that general consensus. And now we're starting to see, like, a lot of cars hugging the bottom and only 2 or 3 cars going up top. But looks like we're going to start seeing some shuffling here as they're almost 4 wide in the little trioval there.
Yeah, SK, I think we saw the 19 and 51 peak up there. I don't know if they're trying to get that third Toyota back there, Blixen, and the 96 back up here. But either way, we did see him move up a little bit, and then that 3 wide move was interesting back in the tail end of this pack here. But yeah, so we are seeing these guys back there. That was that 4-car pack. Now it's about 2 groups of 2, with the 2, 11, 10, and I believe that's the 3. They're gaining, but I mean, and with the disorganization up in the front, there's a chance for those 4 back there to catch back up, maybe. It would help a lot if we got a yellow, but if they get a little bit more unorganized, start getting side by side, we could see that 4-car group, if they gain a lot, maybe catch back up to these leaders.
Yeah, spotter reports in that last lap alone, with them fighting around, they picked up almost a second from their interval times, but still a whopping 6 seconds back, which is very detrimental. But we are at 70 laps to go here at Daytona. Lurkin Tom still up front. Riley right behind him in that 51 Toyota. Richie C USA in third. Deplorable Me makes his way back into the top 5, sitting 4th. And I believe that is Ryan Pinnell in... No, that's the 22 of Nifty Agenda in 5th place. A lot of good racing going on. Hopefully we continue these awesome green flag laps, Fisher. But at the same time, cautions give us something to talk about, but green flag racing makes this look very good. But looks like they're going side by side here.
Oh, yes, and the 24 of Richie C USA, he had help from the 4-car, but he moved back in line. So the 24 kind of getting left out to dry. The 19 moves back up a little bit to help him, maybe try to, even out the lanes a little bit. But the 24 not really able to work that top as well as we saw earlier by the Toyota, trio. So he'll fall back. He does have help from the 8. but he'll probably fall back to about fifth, sixth, seventh in line or so. Um, so not the move that they wanted to make there, but he's Richie CUSA can rebound here and try to get back in line and maybe regroup. We have seen some guys help him, but it's tough at Daytona to get guys to go with you.
Yeah, Richie C and Deplorable had an excellent run going. I thought they were going to take him there for a second, and then you see DP just bail out, and Richie just did not have the momentum by himself to keep it going. And unfortunately, that did just that. Left him out the drive, fell back a bunch. Lurkin Tom still sitting pretty up top next to his or behind his teammate Briley in that 51. Toyota, Ford, Toyota in your top four. Be interested to see if that 96 of Blixen can work his way back up and we can have a Toyota 1, 2, 3. And looks like he's trying to do just that, but might have been just a little too early as he's going to get hung out the dry up there, Fisher.
Yes, Ken. Obviously, I don't know what the Toyota's plans were tonight, but I feel like that was a big plan to get Lurkin, Tom, Briley, and Glixon, all three of them, up 1, 2, 3. And they were running first, second, and fourth, which was pretty good. But they were trying to get that 4 out of line, I'm sure. But right now, the 96 seems to be that guinea pig. They're trying to test him out and see if he can get, up into that third spot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. He'll fall back to the last car in this line here. But obviously, lots of racing left. So he'll have plenty of time to work back up towards that lead pack or the lead spot rather to get back up there with his teammates. But yeah, I mean, he didn't really have any help behind him, so that was kind of a big issue for that 96 team.
Big issue for that 96. Looks like they're going to start to get a 3-car tandem up top. The 96 looked to start go with them, but instead tucks in behind it, and unfortunately, those 3 cars are going to lose a bunch of momentum and end up falling into the tail line. Not sure what the plan is here, but right now this is a single car, or this is a single file racetrack right now, Fisher. Unfortunately, there's just not enough cars in this lead pack to make a 3 or 4 car tandem work with the side drafts, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they might not get that 3-car pack to work, SK, but here they go on the top of the 96 into the wall. He'll bounce back down to the 14, so that separates the pack up a little bit, but now it's 3 on 2, mainly in the front. Here comes the 22 car on the top side, and they're going to have a lot of momentum, but we've seen the top side struggle a little bit. Nifty Agenda on the top side. He'll lead the lap, but can they pull through to clear the 19 and the 51? It looks like entering one, he can clear them. And Willie, though, they're still holding that top side strong.
Still holding that top side strong. Ooh, Richie C USA dives down, leaves the man that left the charge out to dry. Richie C USA now up front. And unfortunately, the man who led the charge on that top side just got hung out to dry. Looks like Lurkin Tom coming up there to join Nifty Agenda along with the 51 of Riley. See if they can't make it work. Richie C USA, your new leader, followed closely by Bossy Geo, and now that 96 is up in third, followed closely by Deplorable Me, but my eye is still up there in those top 3 cars. Looks like they filed back down to try and get another run. See if we can see those 2 cars go back up. We've got 1 car ahead of them, and then they've got another teammate, so those 3 Toyotas are probably going to work together again, and there they go.
Yes, okay, this is as the 96 going potentially to the lead. He has help from the 19, and the 4 getting forced 3 wide. The 19 sandwiched in between the 8 and the 4 cars, and this is going to, I don't know if they'll be able to get enough of a run with them being 3 wide like that. So Richie C USA, that's exactly what he wants to see in his mirror, having those guys battle on the top side, but they are kind of organized. Never mind, the 96 pulls back in line. But SK, I was about to say, we saw this is exactly how Daytona works. Richie C USA in that 24, he was way in the back, the 8 car as well. Saw some other guys towards the back of this little lead group here. They end up going to the lead. We saw another guy towards the back of Jacket FND get left out. He's pretty far back now, nowhere near this lead group. But we're kind of seeing how this is exactly how Daytona works. You can be in the lead on one lap and in the back on the next. 96 and 19 testing that top again.
He is testing that top. Looks like Those two just trying to get anything, scrambling for air. I know that 51, if they were to clear that 51, he would probably jump up to join them. But right now, they're just not gaining any ground. We should be at 61 laps remaining. Pit report showing we are going to be seeing pit stops in the next 5 laps, Fisher. Be interesting to see how those manage out. Speeding penalties. Right now, we're going pretty green. So it'll be interesting to see as these guys are only got 4 or 5 laps left to go. Maybe those stragglers can maybe make up some ground then.
Yes, okay. And something I'm interested to see here is with these guys being side by side, I'm interested to see if these guys that are on the top side will maybe move to the bottom to try to pit from that bottom line. You don't really want to pit from the top side because that could cause a wreck. But everyone's single file now. But yeah, obviously they got to pit in around the next 4 or so laps, 5 or so laps, like you said. So, I mean, do you kind of try to want to stretch it, or do you want to maybe pit a little bit early? Daytona's not really the best track to try to, strategize here. But I mean, we could see some of these guys in this lead pack kind of let off a little bit, try to save some fuel. But either way, they're going to have to pit definitely in these next at least 4 or so laps, I'd assume.
Strategy at Daytona only works if you've got 4 or 5 guys willing to stay on the same strategy. It's the only way it works. But the way we've been seeing it tonight, I don't think 4 or 5 guys can work together. I mean, we've seen 3 guys work really well together. And then a lot of guys have been leaving people out to dry every time you get a run. So it'd be interesting to see. And I guarantee you, it's probably we're gonna play follow the leader come pit stops. But hopefully, with that, we'll see maybe the stragglers catch up. But it's a who's who of what.
Yeah, okay. Something I've noticed here is, I mean, the Toyotas have been working well together, these 3 in this lead group. But, I mean, obviously, I feel like they might be around the same strategy. I mean, we don't know. We're not them. But they are kind of moving around. The 96 of Glickson trying to take the lead. He has help from that 22 and the 8, and now the 19 as well. So they're trying to make a move to the lead. I don't know if this is the smartest move right before the pit cycle. Maybe you get out in front. But they're going to power around on that top side. So move Glickson up to the top spot for the time being. They'll have the 22 of Nifty Agenda and then the 8 car as well. So they're going to pull to the lead. But, I mean, pit stops are starting. I don't know. Maybe they just want to be in the lead and once pit stops cycle through. But so the 96 will lead for the first time today here tonight at Daytona.
But here's an interesting development, Fish. We're talking about this lead straggling pack. Looks like the 14 of Jacket FND fell back just a little bit. Let this lead pack catch up. All 5 of them are pitting it together. Got COT Tommy, Term V, Moldy Muskrat, Jacket FND, and Suis Sideways. They were making up ground, and they've been running single file for the past 4 laps now. It's be interesting to see how that pans out with those guys going down pit road just a little early, but they've been working really well together. As these guys, it's been fighting tooth and nail since the green flag went down. This is now, I think, our 7th leader of Glickson now leading the charge.
Yeah,
and looks like they're all coming down pit road, but
looks like a few stayed out. I think that's a 96 and the 8, maybe, SK. I'm not fully sure.
That is the 96
and it is.
And the 8. Bossy, Gio, and Glickson stayed out. 2 cars are not faster than 5. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, so this is an interesting strategy here. They're gonna be the only 2 staying out. So Glickson and Bossy Gio. This is gonna be. It's a bold strategy. I expect them to come down here, and they will. So they'll back it down to pit speed and make their pit stop, first one of the day. But they obviously lap that 5-car group, which now I believe is 4 cars, with the 14 of Jacket F&D trailing off a little bit. So they'll unlap themselves. But now this is interesting because they lap those guys, but it's going to be interesting to see if this field can beat them off pit road. We'll, get back around before they exit. But they will be up to speed though, SK. This is going to be an interesting situation to see if they can get out of pit road before them.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm kind of paying attention to my lap counter to see how this pans out. Right now, we're still showing the 8 and the 96 still technically considered the leaders. Here comes that main pack that we witnessed earlier, Briley leading the charge. As you can see ahead, they're exiting pit road. They're going to need to get moving in a hurry as we're at 55 laps remaining because this train is coming.
Yeah, SK. I'm looking. There we are. The 8 looks like they're going to catch him first. They're going to be up to speed, but he's slower, so where are they going to go? The 19 and 4 move up to the top, but man, the 12 going to be stuck behind him. So this is going to be interesting. Then they're going to catch the 96 as well. So they're not going to hold on to the lead, but they're going to stay within this group here. So it's going to be, I believe, the 19 of Lurkin Tom out in front. Correct me if I'm wrong, SK, but I think he takes
Lurkin
the lead through
Tom
the pit
is now
stops.
your race leader. That is correct, buddy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the 12 car is a lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so yeah, SK, I was noticing that. We did see some guys get damaged and they became very slow on track here. So I think, I don't know if lap traffic is going to come into play, but I did notice some guys with damage. I think the 18 has some pretty significant damage back there. SK, something I'm wondering is, we see these Toyotas in the pack. They were working together. They're kind of linked up. The force, again, separating the Toyotas. You think we might see them go up to the top again? Maybe those guys in the back. We saw the 8 and 24 test. You think we might see some guys go to the top again?
Oh, we're definitely going to see it, especially towards the closing end. Right now, we're only still about 51 laps, 52 laps to go, so probably see him settle down. Now, looking at intervals, believe it or not, that 5-car tandem pack was able to pick up almost 2 seconds on that lead pack. So maybe next pit strategy, we might see those guys back up there yet again, but still a long race to go. 55 or 50 some laps is still a long way to go. I'll actually give a lap count real quick, Fisher, before I pass it off to you. We're at 52 laps to go, buddy.
Yeah, so we're getting closer. We're about halfway through or so. Maybe a little bit over, actually, or under. I don't know. I'm bad with math. But we know these guys, they're going to have to pit eventually, but they just pitted, so that's a good thing. We've gone caution-free for a while now. It's not like these guys have been very calm. We've seen some aggression. Some guys move to the top, some guys staying on the bottom, some good overall racing. But at some point we gotta wonder if they get overly aggressive, push the issue a little bit too hard, and that would result in a crash. But right now they're being pretty calm. No one going overly aggressive. But at some point, SK, I think we're going to see someone push it a little bit too hard and maybe cause a yellow. But right now they're doing a great job of keeping it straight. Like you said, around 50 or so laps to go probably now. They're doing a great job of keeping it straight, but at some point, someone's going to push it a little bit too far, I feel like.
Somebody's going to see that 5-point bonus lead and try to get out there. It'll be definitely interesting. Right now, shout out in the chat to Sober Stad T3 saying, "Go Glixen." I have to hand it to my good old buddy Gavin. As a Tier 2 driver, he is doing really well in that 96, subbing for Marshmaro, our Season 2 champion. So I know Marsh is at home watching and super happy with Glixen's performance right now. As right now, the top 5 goes Toyota, Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet. Lurkin Tom, Deplorable Me, Riley, Glixen, and Richie C USA round out your top 5. And indeed, the number 12 of Ryan Pinnell did get caught a lap down. So he's definitely hoping for a caution so he can get that lucky dog. But this top 6, they're in a pack all to themselves. But 7 through 12, they're not far behind. They've picked up another half a second on the intervals.
Yeah, SK, something I'm noticing here is as we're seeing them being single file again, we look back at that second group back there. That is the 11, 3, 2, and 22. They've done a great job of working together. I think it's been pretty much them most of the race. I don't know if it's been exactly all of them in that group, but it's been a lot of them, kind of trailing behind. But I mean, at the rate they're going, I feel like they could catch them. They're going to probably need a yellow to help them out a lot, but they're not too far behind. They're about a corner or so. I don't know exactly how far back they are, but I mean, at some point, I feel like they might have enough speed to catch them. It'll be very close. Pit stops, of course, will be a factor, but they're not too far behind. They've pushed it, and they're doing a great job of trying to get back up to this lead group.
Judging by spotter reports on all of their Twitch streams, 3 laps ago they're at 6.2. They're down to 4.9. So they are definitely making up a lot of ground. We got about a pit window between 15 laps. So it'll be interesting to see if this 4-car pack can make their way back up to the field. But with these guys playing nice and running single file, it's not going to help at all unless these guys start fighting again. But right now, it looks like they're all starting to play nice. But with them playing nice, Fisher, it really not looking too good for that 4-car pack behind them, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. And we were seeing earlier how they were, getting aggressive and that, all that. But now since they've calmed down a little bit, it's kind of a little bit more unlikely that they'll be able to catch them. But they've been working together nice. They've been earlier. They were kind of separated into two-car groups, but I mean, we are seeing them, work together nicely. And I mean, if they catch them, this is an added factor because we have about 7 or so in this lead group. That would add 4 more. So, I mean, that adds a little bit of I guess, more of a dramatic factor. I guess we'll see if those guys, who they work with, that could, maybe there's a teammate up there in that lead group for somebody back in that 4-car group. And once they get up there, they can start working together. But I really am interested to see what they do if and when they catch them.
Yeah, be awesome to see. We've witnessed early on that the 3 and the 4-car teams can work really well up top. But when there's only 7 cars, you're going to need the majority of them to go with you if you want to try and make a run on the leader. Be interesting to kind of see how this works out. But right now, Lurkin Tom sitting very pretty up in the front of this race. And which is exciting because I forgot to mention this at the start of the broadcast. Over the past 7 or 8 races in TNT, tonight we are going to have a winner for the first time in a long while since Marshmaro and its Prodom are not in the field tonight. So everybody's definitely looking for this win. Plus, it's double points. You get 5 points for leading the lap. The season pretty much hinges on this first race, and these guys are looking very good up here as they're going to come up to another lap car here shortly. The 18 of Twisted Navy. I saw him up in the distance a little bit, heavily damaged at poor Toyota. Fisher, so it'd be definitely interesting to witness as I'm going to get a lap count right real quick, and also just to kind of brief it up some, that 4-car pack is now down to an interval of 3.8. So they are making up time. 40 laps to go, about 9 or so laps left on fuel.
Yeah, SK, and I mean, with this lap car of the 18, I mean, obviously that's a Toyota, so I assume it'll let the 19 by. Obviously, you can't really hold people up at Daytona. I mean, you can, but when you have a lead car out in the front, that maybe if it's a Toyota Alliance, you wouldn't really want to hurt another fellow manufacturer driver. You wouldn't want to do that. So he'll probably just move up the top here and let the field by. And that looks like what he'll do. But yeah, so interesting to see. Maybe he'll hold up that four-car pack back there, but he should be pretty nice. Maybe he'll be able to file in line behind that 12 car. But again, these guys being very calm through these. I guess after that pit stop, they've started to be a lot more calmer here at Daytona, and that's something we always like to see. I mean, you expect the big one, but you want to see a little bit of calmness before they have a giant pile up. So it's a good thing to see a little green flag run here at Daytona.
Definitely, it's exciting to see, and more to report that that four-car pack is really working their way up. They're about 3.5 seconds, so they're making up time on this lead pack, which is gonna definitely show excitement towards the end of this race. So right now we're about 40 laps to go. I miscalled it earlier, so about 40 laps to go now. About 8 or 9 laps still left on fuel, as these guys are still continuously gaining. We're back, you can see them closing in the distance. They're now 2.9 seconds back. COT Tommy is leading the boys on a heavy charge, and here they come.
Yeah, SK. And something I'm seeing is these guys are going the 8, the 12. I know the 12 is a lap car, but he's up on that top side. They're battling slightly, but even though it's a slight battle, that's important for those 4 cars back there. They see those guys getting a little bit unorganized. They want to try to take advantage of that. And they've been doing an amazing job here. Like you said, they've cut it down. I believe their gap from the leader is about 3 seconds or so. So they've cut it within 3 seconds, or a little bit over 3 seconds, rather. So they're getting very close to at least the tail end of this pack. So, I mean, again, this is an added thing. There are 6 lead lap cars in this pack. The 12 and the 18 are lap down, or lap cars. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, SK. Once they get there, what are they going to do? So that's going to be an interesting question to answer here in the next few laps.
Looks like we're getting some side-by-side action. Lurkin Tom was all over the place trying to block, up there blocking his teammate, now coming back down to block the 4 down in the bottom side. With them shuffling around, it gives them even more breathing room. I think the interval is now down to 2 seconds. They're coming, Fisher. They're coming with everything they've got. About 5 laps of fuel remaining. They're about 2.3 seconds from the leader, so the back of the pack, they're about less than 2 seconds behind, so they might be able to tail in on that draft and start sucking it in. So it'll be definitely interesting to see. Let me get you a lap count. We are at 38 to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Ken, something I'm noticing is, the 12 slid way up. Speaking of the 12, the 18 as well. I know they want to race a little bit, but they're lap cars, so I mean, I don't know if that's the best situation for them to be in. They do fall to the tail end. Never mind, the 18 still side by side, the 12 kind of going with them. They're doing a great job of getting the lead. Only if they were on the lead lap, that'd be big. But here comes the second group as well. They're going to go to the top side. The 22 kind of left on the bottom. But the second group has finally caught them. But another added factor is those lap cars battling up there as well.
But hey, with them being in front of the leaders, they're now on the lead lap. So if we go to caution, they're both going to get waved around, which is definitely what probably they're looking for. But that lead pack is here, so now we've got a jarble of cars all underneath a blanket. COT Tommy led the charge, and I think I might have just heard a crash.
Yeah, I think it was the 11 of Term V just spun around there. I think he was the only car really involved. Everyone else seemed to be keeping it straight to 3. Fell back a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, that's gotta suck though. You work all the way back up there just to get kind of wrecked there. Unfortunate for the 11 car, but I believe that will not be a yellow, so we should stay green here in Daytona. I don't think we'll get that caution yet, but that shows maybe. Oh, they're slowing down. Never mind.
Nope,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna call the caution. What a developing story we have here. Let me throw the caution lights up. This changes everything. We're on lap 45 of 80. COT Tommy, Term V, Suicideways, Nifty Agenda worked valiantly to catch up, and now we are under caution. We're going to see everybody definitely go down pit road, get some fresh fuel, get a new pair of shoes, and we're going to be bunched up again. So this is we're going to go from single file to probably back to a street fight again, Fisher, and I really hope that I don't see that, but at the same time, the way tonight's been going, we're probably going to witness it again.
Yeah, and that really unfortunately hurt the 11 there getting involved in that wreck. He was the one of the only cars that really got significant damage out of that. But we're going to see some of these guys pit, and this is a great opportunity for guys like the 12, the 18. We saw them drifting behind the 48. He's been pretty much of a non-factor all race. He's going to get back in this lead pack. Those guys that were the 4-car group that was working so hard, they're going to be in the mix now, kind of even playing field now for this whole field. But, I mean, we got to imagine that there's the usual suspects up front so far tonight are going to still be at the top of their game throughout the rest of this race. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with these guys. Now we saw a lot of those guys almost getting lapped. They got involved in wrecks outside of that lead group, the lead 6-car group coming to that yellow. I'm really interested to see here, SK, what those guys that were in the back, they're a little bit maybe upset after getting wrecked or whatever, what they're going to do, what they're going to try to do to get to the front of the field.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Fans, in the bottom left-hand screen, you see our commercial for our Jingle Jam on iRacing. Be a full 100% race at Atlanta in December. Charity race. We're going to be paying out 50% of all proceeds to the winners and 50% to Toys for Tots. Visit racearcs.com to register and get all the information. Definitely a fun deal. Fisher, we're probably going to go green on lap 48, I believe, is probably when we're going to go back green. Right now we're on lap 46. If we get them all funneled up, we're probably going to go green this time by. But right now we're on lap 46, so not a lot of laps left to go. About 23 laps on fuel, so we're definitely going to have to see one more pit stop if we stay green. And I think that's what the determining factors are going to be. What group stays together, what group doesn't stay together. We've seen these Toyotas are deadly. Working Tom. See, we have Working Tom, we have Riley, we've got Glixen up there driving for Marshmaro. Term V's now back up into the mix after getting his damage fixed. The 18 as well, the Twisted Navy. These guys have always been known to work super well together. So it'll be interesting to see, as we're going to probably do one more parade lap, and we will be going green yet again with everybody back on the lead lap.
Yes, okay. And something I want to point out here is I believe we have 34 laps to go, and looking around, I believe they can go about 23 or so laps to go. Maybe if you packed a little bit more fuel in there, maybe you can go a little bit further. But so they're going to have to make one more stop. That's obvious before the end of this race. They're going to have to wait a little bit if they want to get completely good to the end. So it is possible on one stop. Maybe some guys try to test out the 2 stops to the end, maybe split it in half. But interested to see here what these guys do. It looks like we'll probably go back green with about 33 laps to go.
Right now, Working Tom still sitting very pretty up front. Deplorable Me up top in second. The restarts are going to be, this is probably going to be the most important thing, and I cannot tell cannot count how many times I've ever told myself this, and I've told my friends this, and I've told other drivers this. At Daytona, get a good restart, keep the car straight, don't try to bobble, don't try to weave, just get the run early. Especially if you're in the middle, because you're either going to get swallowed up or you're going to get passed, and you're going to lose the run from the guy in front of you. The restart is probably one of the most important parts here. But at the same time, as the leader, there's one thing I hate more than anything is being in the restart zone as the leader, because you're gonna set up a run for everybody else. We are green flag yet again, Fisher. Working Tom up front.
Yes, okay. It's something I could see here. Pretty obvious. Lurking Tom and Glickson lined up nose to tail. The 19 and 96. We saw the Toyotas wanting to work together. Unfortunately, the 51 of Briley will fall all the way back. Probably he's in that top side. But that's unfortunate for him. But we see some two Toyotas up in the front. As I believe the 4 scraped the wall a little bit. He'll fall back. But again, the top line looking like the bottom line, excuse me, looking like the better line. At least on the opening lap, we're starting to see a little 4-car breakaway up in the front.
Little 4-car breakaway indeed. Lurking Tom, Glickson, COT Tommy, Suis Sideways, and Jacket FND round out your top 5. Richie C USA not far behind. 32 laps remaining. We've got some pretty heavy hitters when it comes to plate track racing. COT Tommy, Richie C USA, Lurking Tom all up there. COT Tommy, probably one of the best in the business, sitting third. He was the one that led that 4-car charge from almost 8 seconds back to in the pack right before the caution let out. So definitely keep your eyes on them, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Lurking Tom and his teammate, the number 96 of Glickson, doing everything they can to fend off all those hungry wolves back there, Fisher.
Yeah, so down into turn 1, it's still the 19 and the 96 out in front. Didn't see the 2 obviously move up to the top side, try to maybe help those guys out. Looks like a few Fords up there as well, so maybe some manufacturer alliances. Oh, the 14 end of the wall, that's Jacket F&D, so he'll slap the wall. Should be pretty calm, though. A lot of cars have damage, so he'll just add some more damage to his car. But the top side, again, not really working. We have seen some guys pull it off, but it's the 2, 24, 22. They're all going to kind of fall back about mid-pack or so. Some guys a little bit further back. But, man, that top side not really working. The bottom side seems to be, at least early on, or throughout most of this race at least, has been the way to go for most of these drivers.
I think the main problem we've seen, Fisher, is it's the top side execution. As you saw, Jacket gets into the wall a little bit, slowed up that momentum majorly. The top side we've seen work tonight, but we have seen very unastute execution. It's been every time you seem to go up there, the cars can't seem to hold it in the line, seem to get jarbled up a little bit, a lot of bobbing and weaving, where that low line, they are glued. You see him just nose to tail as, ooh, looks like the young kid of Moldy Muskrat made his way up to top 5, sitting in the 4th position. First we've seen him all night in that 41 Ford Mustang. Suis Sideways coming back after a huge detrimental wreck at the start of the race, sitting 3rd. But still, these two Toyotas, Fisher, have just been glued to each other's bumpers and just rocking down the backstretch here at Daytona.
Yes, Ken. It's kind of interesting to see how those guys that were towards the back of the field have kind of worked their way up. Obviously, Suicide Ways being in that 3rd spot, the 41 and Moldy Muskrat being in P number 4. And then back there, the 18 of Twisted Navy and that 18 car is P5. So we're seeing some of those guys that were towards the back of the field work their way up inside the top 5. And then, of course, the 51 behind them, the 11, 22, 24, 2, 48, all in this lead group here. But it's really, I mean, this is basically what we expect when we come to Daytona. We expect to see some guys go from the back to the front. But it's still been that 96 and 19. They've been in this lead group, I believe, at least almost all of this race. So it's for sure they've been two of the fastest cars here in Daytona. But also, SK, the pack seems to be a little bit separated. Three cars getting a little bit unorganized towards the tail end of the pack.
Yeah, unfortunately, us watching the leader, just kind of paying attention to what's going on up front. In the middle of the pack, I was watching COT Tommy there for a second. He ended up gaining like 4 positions because they got jarbled up big time, and now everybody seemed to kind of spread out due to, looks like, some miscommunication and lane changing back there from turn V on back. But yeah, like we were saying, the number 19 and the 96 have just shown flawless consistency. Not just speed, but consistency. They have stayed with each other. They've not tried to, veer off their racing line. They've done a real good job of blocking the runs. As you can see, the 96 will start to go up to block a run, and then come right back down to help his teammate out, as Working Tom and the 96 of Blixen running 1-2, Suicideways in third, Moldy Muskrat in fourth. And you saw Suicideways and Moldy Muskrat kind of play around with kind of running the middle a little bit, seeing if they can't work their way up there, but they haven't decided to make the move just yet. It'll be interesting to see if those two do. There's 3 cars behind them, but 2 more Toyotas. Twisted Navy's back in the mix. Briley's back in the mix. And Term V, 3 Toyotas. Unfortunately, you've got Toyota, Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota. It is a Toyota. The Team Toyota's up front. All these guys run as a team. They race as a team. It's going to be very hard for Suicideways and Moldy Muskrat to do anything with a bunch of Toyotas in the Sea Fisher.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they got to do, SK. We got to see the 41 and the 3, like you were just saying how it's going to be hard for them. They've got to work together as the 18. Looks like the 51 and 11 are all going to move up there. Maybe they want to try to split those guys up, move them towards the back of the field, and just play defense. But, I mean, at the same time, you got to wonder if these guys can get up there and contend. But that little second group back there, we were seeing them work together very nicely. They're not quite out of the picture yet. Those 3 being the 22, 48, and 24 cars. So they're working well together, and then the 14, 2, and 10 as well. But, I mean, they have time. Time is running out, of course. They're getting towards about 20 or so to go in a bit. And then pit stops as well is going to come into play. But, I mean, if you're the 41 of the 3, you're hoping that 3-car group gets here very fast as the 3 Toyotas in the back are moving to the top side.
Yep, at the line, we should be at 23 to go. And it's interesting to see Toyota's dominance here tonight over a lot of some of the other manufacturers. Now, I know for the fans that watch A Squared on Sunday, it is the Fords have just dominated the season. But this race, and like a lot of the heavy plate or the heavy hitters and restrictor plates are in the Fords and the Chevrolets, but they've had tough times. Richie C. USA, the number 48 of Tri-Spirit, we haven't seen him at all tonight. He's been caught up in a bunch of mistakes and mishaps. COT Tommy, Jacket FND, Ryan Pinnell as well. Bossy Geo, all very fast drivers on restrictor plates, but right now, the Toyotas have it together. I know that they are communicating well, but looks like we should be about 22 laps to go. Yes, 22 laps to go. And I believe fuel, we should be about 11 laps or so. We'll probably be seeing pit stops right about 10 to go if everybody sticks to the schedule. But looks like a little bit of shuffling going on up top, and looks like the 3 and the 41 just got hung out to dry, Fisher.
Yeah, I saw the 41 get moved up. The 3 kind of moved up with him. Maybe he didn't want to be the only guy not with a Toyota emblem on the front of his car in this top 5. So he just drops back with the 41 as well. He didn't really get moved up there. So I think that was a plan maybe. I thought they had a good chance of trying to get past the 1996 cars. I don't think anyone else would have went with them, but I think they had a little bit of a gap forming, so they maybe had a chance. But they got forced to the back of the field, but or this group rather. But that's not a big issue right now. They're going to approach the pit window. We're getting to about, I believe, 20 to go this. They're going to have to pit soon, and that's a great chance. Maybe just get a little bit less fuel. Maybe you try to play some strategy, especially with that fuel game. Just try to do a little something different. You don't want to. You want to try to take advantage of some other guys maybe doing some different strategies. So I think the 41-3, they've really got to play some strategies, the strategy game, once the pit cycle happens here, SK.
Yeah, right now, ladies and gentlemen, Toyota top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Working Tom, Blixen, Twisted Navy, Riley, and Term V. Team Toyota has just been kicking butt here tonight. The lone Chevrolet and the lone Ford doing everything they can to try to mix it up some, but I believe at the line, we should be about 28 laps to go. Let me get a perfect lap count here. Oh, sorry, my bad. 19 laps remaining. And I don't know. It's not looking good for the rest of the field. I bet we're going to have a Toyota in the winner's circle tonight.
Yeah, SK, but I really wouldn't count out that 3-car group. They're not too far back. Maybe again, do some strategy here. Gotta do something different. But maybe try to gain a little bit on pit road. Maybe those guys go a little bit slower. But they are pretty far back right now. But yeah, I don't think we can count out another caution though. These guys have been really aggressive. So I mean, maybe we see another yellow. But these guys have done a pretty good job keeping it clean. I know the 41 and the 3 back there, they either want a caution or they want some of these Toyotas to get wrecked. But so they can have a chance here. But yeah, SK, it's gonna be interesting to see, especially with this pit cycle, what's gonna happen here in these last, I think, coming to 18 laps to go. Last 18 laps here.
18 to go at the line. Anywhere between 7 to 9 is what I'm getting in reports right now of fuel. And they are doing these guys in the back are doing everything they can to hug the bottom, draft off each other, to try and catch back up this field to be a factor. And I know that the 41 and the 3 of Suicide Ways doing what they can to try and be a factor. But I said it just a second ago, these Toyotas are just looking too darn good. You've got 4 Toyotas now blocking for the lead. Term V fell back just a little bit, but he will probably be right back up there with his buddies. But this has been a Toyota. Honestly, it's been a Toyota-thon here at Daytona. But definitely interesting to see how pit cycles work out. I do agree. And when pit cycles hit up, I will switch the cameras to try and catch back to like Richie C USA and a few of the others that are sitting there in the back, Fisher.
Yeah, SK, and something I'm noticing is I believe they these guys are getting closer to that pit cycle. I believe they have about 5 or 6 laps looking at the fuel run. I believe they have about 5 or 6 laps left on that on fuel. Maybe a little bit more for guys that have been pushing it, maybe a little bit less for guys that have been saving. But either way, they're going to have to pit here shortly. And this is going to be a key factor here. Who gets a good pit stop? Who doesn't? Who stays in a lead draft? We could see some guys get shuffled out. As actually pit stops are starting. The 8, the 12, the 10, the 4, all down pit road. Hopefully they'll keep it low and won't come up in front of those 3 there. And they won't. But so SK pit stops are starting. Some of those guys towards the back coming down a little bit earlier.
A little bit of strategy being played, get some fuel, and try to get good runs to make that strategy work out. Hopefully they might catch one of those back, the guys that are a little bit back, catch some draft, get some speed. So when this lead pack goes down pit road, the momentum could be catastrophic for these guys up front if those guys that just went down pit road can get, I say it again, speed and momentum. I don't know how else to word it besides you need speed and momentum here at Daytona. Be interesting to see. But as Lurkin Tom and the 96 of Blixen still 1-2, as they have been for almost 3/4 of this race, Fisher. Leaders are showing about 4 laps of fuel remaining. Be anybody's guess to when they come down.
Yes, Ken. I'm interested to see maybe if these guys, I mean, you're in that position to maybe come down. Interested to see if anyone comes down early, comes down later. Let's see. Looks like everyone's staying above that double yellow line this time. But I think we got to see them come down in the next about 3 or so laps here for sure. But yeah, so I mean, at this point, I think it's going to be down to one of these guys in this lead group, one of these 7 cars, unless we get a caution that is going to probably be in the best position to win. Those 3 guys back there have been working together, but it's not. I don't know if it'll be enough. Maybe if they do a little bit different on pit strategy. But yeah, SK, we're in for a good finish between these 7 cars, hopefully. But let's hope pit strategy can maybe throw some added drama into this finish here.
Definitely. Hopefully we see a little bit added drama, but I also want to see beautiful clean racing. Ooh, looks like the 18 gets a little squirrely in the tri-oval. That's going to open up the door for teammate Riley to get around him. But speaking of a race leader, Rick James TV1 in the chat saying, "Go, Lurkin, go." Rick James TV1 is our good friend Rick James, who was the original broadcaster here at TNT, passed the baton off to me and my new friend Fisher. Hopefully we are doing everything we can to leave this great kingdom that you've built here, Rick. How many laps left? We're about 13 laps remaining. Looks like the lead pack is down pit road. The back marker cars have just exited pit road. Be anybody? Oh, looks like Riley got a little loose getting onto pit road. That could be detrimental.
That's good. The whole field came down, but something that we got to point out. Look at the 3 and the 41. They got up to, I believe, 1st and 3rd on pit road, and that might, if they can get a good pit stop, this is going to split up these guys, the Toyotas specifically. So, I mean, this is interesting now because yeah, the 3's going to exit at least 1st or 2nd, probably 1st, and he will. So that puts Suicide Waste potentially in the lead. This is going to be big because now he just has to block. Yeah, if everything goes his way, he just got to block. I know he has a bunch of Toyotas behind him. They're going to be working together. But if he blocks the lanes properly, he could potentially have pulled off some amazing strategy here at Daytona.
Amazing how he got into the pits flawlessly, not getting a speeding penalty, getting around Lurkin Tom, but here comes the Toyotas working together on the high side. Looks like it's Lurkin Tom and Term V. Term V pushing Lurkin Tom to the lead. They're able to get around the number three right now, just all by his lonesome. The 96 and the 18 right behind him. Not sure what happened to the 41 of Moldy Muskrat. He is way back. But these 5 have broken away, and poor Suicideways is now in a sea of Toyotas. And all by his lonesome, Fisher. 10 laps to go here at the beautiful beaches of Daytona.
Yeah, SK, and something I'm interested to see what could happen here is the 3's in 3rd, funny enough. So there's the potential for him to make a move, but I think he's got to wait for the last lap because at some point, just because you're all Toyotas and stuff, that gets thrown out the window coming to the white flag, coming to the finish. You don't care who's in front of you, who's behind you. You're going to try to think about getting that win for yourself. So I'm expecting to see these Toyotas. They've worked well, they've worked together so well throughout the whole event here. But I mean, at some point, you throw the whole manufacturer alliance out the window. You got a pretty good chance to get at least one Toyota a win. But I think it's every man for himself once you get to that white flag. So there's still potential for that 3. Maybe he makes the right move to maybe go to victory lane here at Daytona.
Absolutely. I've always had the saying to all my teammates and my friends, we are friends and teammates till the last lap, turn 3 at a restrictor plate race, and then it's gloves off. The second we hit turn 3, you're not my friend anymore. So I do agree there, and it could happen. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Looks like got into a little bit of a trouble as those 3 cars are starting to fall back as the 19 and the 11 stay nose to tail, and the 18 and the 96 stay nose to tail, trying to get around that 3, try to push him back, but doesn't quite make it happen. Looks like the 96 back down, going to leave the 18 up, so the 18 is probably going to shuffle back into line. Interesting to see. I believe we are going to be at 8 to go this time by. I'll get an update that for you folks in just a second. Yeah, our lap counters is a little bit further back. Oh no, we're on lap 73 of 80. Or sorry, 74 of 80.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. I saw the 3. So we should have, I believe, 7 to go. The 3 tested that top, but again, it's hard when no one wants to go with you. I did see the 18 pull up there, but I mean, it's hard to get anyone to work with you when you got those 4 Toyotas surrounding him. But yeah, he really could use some help, but no one's gonna, unless we get a yellow. I don't see anyone catching up and helping him out here. But yeah, so it's still the 19, 11, 96, 18, and the 3, the top 5. They're still in our the 5-car lead pack here. But yeah, it sucks for the 3. He has no help, but we did see him try the top. But I think he's got to wait until that last lap, SK, to make a move. He's just got to hope these guys they throw that kind of working together mentality out the windows. There they go, all the 3 cars against 2, top versus bottom into 3 and 4.
In a way, you kind of almost wonder if the 96 and the 18 go up there with the 3 just to block. And looks like they did just that. The Toyota shuffled down a little bit, but the number 3 gets left out to dry. 5 laps remaining. That poor number 3 has just got no friends, no help whatsoever, as these Toyotas are just doing NASCAR needs to take note on the teamwork being shown here tonight.
Yeah, SK, they're doing a great job. It's really rare to see some guys work really well together. Sometimes you get a little bit drama, within teams and stuff. Some guys not liking their teammates, but they've done a great job of working together, especially with the 96 filling in. That's a tough situation for a guy like that, but he's doing a great job adapting here. But I mean, it's really rare for teammates. I feel like you can work together pretty well, but they haven't. I don't think they've wrecked each other. They haven't done much. They obviously lost the 51, but now they are side by side. So maybe they've decided, it's every Toyota for themselves at this point, except for the 3. But yeah, I don't know what their strategy is here, but got, I believe, 4 laps to go now. Coming to 3 this time by. I think we're in for a good finish regardless.
That also to mention, I forgot to mention, at 5 laps to go. Cautions are now off, so no matter what happens, we're green. So I almost wonder if these guys are going to start fighting now. But right now, Working Tom still sitting up top. Twisted Navy in the number 18. Probably another one of our restrictor plate legends here at ARCS sitting second. Suicideways sitting third. Term V fourth. And the rookie slash sub in the number 96. Subbing in for Marsh Morrow in 5th place. I know Marsh Morrow is happy with his sub's choice, because he is going to get a top 5 finish no matter what happens as we come to 2 to go. It's almost crunch time. Can the 3 make a move around Team Toyota?
Yes, okay, like you said, we're coming to 2 to go. The question is, I think he can make a move. The 10 is a lap car now. Maybe he comes into play. But the important thing here for this 3 car is you don't want to make that move too early. You want to try to, I think you don't make a move until the white flag. You stay in line, then you plan it. Either way, you're in a pretty good spot to get a top 5 here. I don't think you do it too early. These Toyotas, maybe they get a little bit aggressive against each other. But we're going to come to this white flag, and I think that's when you make your move. We'll have to see what Suicide Ways does to split up these Toyota cars.
Definitely be interesting to see as the white flag is now out. 1 to go. This is it. This is for all the marbles, the double points. A Daytona win, a TNT win, round 1. Like I said earlier, double points. This is going to be big, but as they're coming up onto that 10, looks like he's just going to get out of the way.
Ooh. Here goes the 18 SK. He's going to test the top, and he's got out from the 11. Never mind, the 11 moves back down to push the 19, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get a run. We've seen the top
They're
lane
starting to
struggle,
bang
and
a
I think
little
the
bit.
19's got it.
Here comes the 96 entering the fray, pushing the 11 down. Oh, spinning, wrecking. But I still believe that Workin' Tom gets the win. The number 11 of Term V. I believe the 18 will get 3rd and the 96 4th. Huge shout out to the number 3 of Suicide Ways, doing everything he could to mount those poor Toyotas. And he did everything he could, but just got in a little bit of a jam and got clipped. Your finishing order goes Lurkin' Tom, Twisted Navy, Term V, Glixen, Suicide Ways, Richie C USA, Nifty Agenda, Moldy Muskrat, COT Tommy, and Briley round out your top 10. Give us just a few moments. We will be back in the ARCS Racing Network's podium. All right, we are live back from the ARCS Racing Network podium. We're going to do things just a tad bit different tonight than I'm usually doing. Tonight, I'm interviewing Team Toyota, top four. You guys had a great time. Before I pass it to my good buddy Fisher, I actually want to talk first to our fourth place finisher, Glixen, who subbed for Marsh Morrow. Glixen, this is your first Tier 1 race. How do you feel you did?
I feel like I did good. I think I could have finished a little bit better if pit stops went a little bit smoother, but my entry was poor. Did have a lot of fun, though, and I'm thankful for Lurkin and all the admins for giving me this opportunity. It was really, really fun to come out here and race with these guys and have a lot of fun with some good people.
Definitely, and you worked with one of the best tonight. You worked with Lurkin Tom. You worked with Twisted Navy. You know, some of the best restrictor plate racers on Team Toyota. Term V, congratulations on your third place finish. What an awesome race. Term, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a good race. I was hanging in the back most of the night. Kind of got out of the draft there about halfway through it. Then me, Tommy, Jacket, Modi, and all them hooked up. Ran the pack down one time, and they lost the pack again, and I just stayed with the pack from the rest of the race. Had a good car, had fun. It was fun at the end, beating and banging. I tried to go for the win, but yeah, it didn't work out the way I was hoping it to. But top three, not a bad night for start of the 500.
What a good night. Also, awesome teamwork, of course, from Team Toyota. I'm going to pass it to my boy Fisher, standing by with Twisted Navy. Fisher, take it away.
Yeah, Twisted Navy. So it's a P2 finish. We saw y'all obviously working together. It was a great run for all four of y'all. But we saw you come up barely short. I know Hurts asked this question, but what do you think you could have done to get past Lurk and Tom? They're coming back to the line.
If I would have done it differently, made an attempt probably with 2 to go instead of 1 to go, it would have probably taken a couple tries to get past him. He holds a pretty solid line at the bottom. And, maybe trying to work something out with some other teammates, but we were all teammates in the front, so I really wanted to push them to the last lap, you know what I mean? And that's, Toyota, and that's what we do. But still race for them for the win at the end there. I wish Term went with me. I think that would have really changed the outcome of that race. But from going, a lap down, racing my lap back, racing my way up through the field in a P2, I am completely happy with that.
Yeah, congrats on that P2 though, up and down day. But yeah, y'all working well together. So I guess we'll move on to our winner now, Lurk and Tom. So winning at Daytona, obviously a big win for you. We saw y'all working together all day long. Just kind of, I guess, walk me through the whole race. It was a good run for y'all. I mean, obviously that was y'all's game plan to work together, but the execution was very great. Just how you feeling after tonight's winner at Daytona?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for the broadcast. Awesome. Appreciate it so much. Yeah, we really try to work as a team over here, and it's an amazing start to our season, finishing 1, 2, 3, 4. So just happy with that. Had a lot of fun racing. All my teammates and the rest of the field. We didn't really have a lot of caution, so it kind of turned into a old school race of sorts. Very spread out. I don't know. I just tried to go with the Dale Jr. mindset of if you don't get in the back, you won't get wrecked. So I just tried my hardest not to lose positions and not be a victim of any kind of lagging. So good team win.
Congrats on the win. Good job overall for all four of y'all, Team Toyota. But yeah, I guess we'll go back up to SK.
Good job by Team Toyota, indeed. I made a comment to Fisher earlier. NASCAR needs to take note on your guys' teamwork throughout that entire race. It was just phenomenal. But that is going to conclude our racing action. Up on the screen now, we've got our schedules up. ARCS 2 and 3 catch us on Tuesdays, Thursday Night Thunder on Thursdays, and A Squared Sundays. Pre-race show starts around 8:30, so tune in on ARCS Racing Networks. Also, next week we'll be back on Monday Night Lightning. Follow Rick James TV1 for the final 3 races on Monday Night Lightning on iRacing. If you want to race with us, visit racearcs.com. Check out everything we got going on from Xbox to iRacing. Fill out the application. We will get you racing as soon as possible. This is SK and my new friend Fisher signing off for an amazing night of the FRG Designs Thursday Night